$1 million for the family of Ms. Dew, who died in police custody. The council spending $500,000 to raise a bridge just over a metre. And the warm weather wakes up sleeping snakes. Let's say, watch your pets.
Live across Western Australia, GWN7 News with Noel Brunning.
Good evening. First tonight, the family of a woman who died while in police custody has been awarded a $1.1 million payout from the state government. Ms. Dew died in 2014 while being held by South Hedland Police over unpaid fines.
These are the harrowing last moments of Miss Dew's life. She was just 22 when she died in police custody. Today, 5 members of Miss Dew's family were awarded an ex gratia payment of $1.1 million from the state government.
Personally offered the state's sincerest apologies for the circumstances leading to the death of their family member.
Attorney General John Quigley said that he believed Miss Dew would still be alive if there had been a custody notification service in place at the time.
As the coroner postulated, and so do I, that had such a service been in operation at the time, the tragedy may have well been avoided and Miss Dew been part of our world today.
The time limitation for Miss Dew's family to sue the government expired earlier this year, but as a sign of the government's sincere regret, it has granted the family a 6-month extension. Miss Dew was being held at South Hedland Police Station over $3,600 in unpaid fines. An inquest into Miss Dew's death last year found she had died from septicemia and pneumonia. The officers guarding her at the time were sanctioned for unprofessional conduct and breaching regulations, but all were dealt with internally. No other action was taken against them. Simone Kerr, GWN7 News.
Bunbury Council has voted to raise the height of the Kumbana Bay Footbridge by nearly 1.5 metres. The move, which came after pressure from local boaties, will cost $500,000.
This is the site for the proposed footbridge that has caused so much controversy. The Kumbana Bay Footbridge redevelopment sparked protests from boaties who said the new bridge would be too low. Yesterday, after months of campaigning, they got what they wanted.
At the council meeting last night, they made a decision, a very good decision, to raise the Kumbana footbridge. It makes it very, very safe and accessible for most boatiers in Bunbury.
The footbridge will be raised 1.4 metres higher than originally planned, bringing it to the same height as the nearby road bridge. The estimated cost of the project is around $500,000.
That's a lot of money to spend on a bridge.
And I'm glad to see they finally come to their senses, even though it's going to cost a bit more money.
Obviously the boat people need it to be raised to get through, so I understand for that reason, but it's just all about money often, isn't it? And where does the money come from?
Some funding and materials for the bridge have been donated by the Yacht Club and by local businesses, about $150,000 in total.
And I think one of the key elements for council was a considerable amount of community support in terms of business support to assist in the costs of raising the bridge.
Council voted here 10-2 in favour of raising the footbridge last night. The $350,000 needed to cover it will come from a contingency fund set aside to cover unexpected costs and interest earned by money set aside for the project.
The bridge should be open to the public by the end of January 2018. Brendan Crew, GWN7 News.
A suspicious bushfire in our far north that had residents on high alert last night has been downgraded. A watch and act warning was in place yesterday afternoon for people living in several communities surrounding Kununurra with a possible threat to lives and homes. The warning has been downgraded to an advice, meaning residents should still monitor conditions and stay alert. Firefighters spent the day backburning and building containment lines to stop the fire from flaring up again. Meanwhile, a smoke alert has been issued for the city of Kalgoorlie, Boulder and surrounding areas. There was a lot of smoke blanketing the town earlier today. DFS says strong westerly winds pushed the smoke east from prescribed burns in the Perth Hills over the weekend. It should clear by tonight. Meanwhile, firefighters battled a suspicious scrub fire in Boulder overnight. It took around 40 minutes to control the blaze. Around 4 hectares was burnt. The Kumbana Bay foreshore project hit a snag today when workers broke a gas pipe, causing a leak. They were drilling at a building site on the corner of Lions Cove and Kumbana Drive. ATCO gas repair crews are currently working on the pipe. They hope to have it fixed this evening. There was no evacuation. Around 30 homes have been left without gas as the repairs take place. With the weather warming up, wildlife experts in the Midwest have reported a spike in call-outs to remove snakes from homes. They're warning that our pets are in more danger than we are.
Stuck under this family's fence is a king brown snake, and it's a big one. At almost a metre long, this snake has enough venom to stop anyone in their tracks. For wildlife expert Michelle Jones, this will be a regular summertime call-out, catching snakes before they bite someone.
We've had a real influx with reptiles in the last week or so. Obviously the weather's heating up, which means that we're having a lot of more conflictions between lizards and snakes coming into people's houses.
And as scary as we find them, it's our pets that are in greatest danger.
They can be quite anxious, panty, just a general sign that something might not be quite right, like right up into collapsed, vomiting, that kind of thing.
Georgina, a Dalmatian, survived a snake bite last week. Ricky Hirona says she didn't have any symptoms, but a local vet urged her to have Georgina checked out.
As soon as we can get the medication that they need into them, it does change their survival rates quite significantly.
If your animal is a repeat offender, for your animal's safety, I would suggest muzzling it so that it can have a drink of water during the day, but definitely not bite anything.
Laura Birch, GWN7 News.
And a Euclid police officer says she nearly fainted when she found 9 tiger snakes in a car during a routine traffic stop. A driver who was heading towards Victoria was arrested for unlawful possession of the reptiles. Tiger snakes are protected. To own them, you need to have a licence. And this is how the police officers found them, wrapped up in these bags. Police have seized the snakes. They'll be taken back to Kalgoorlie where they'll get a health check before being released. Great Southern Police say they're pleased with the region's response to the National Firearms Amnesty, but warn time is running out. 44 weapons have been handed into the Great Southern to police since July, including rifles, shotguns and handguns. Most will be destroyed, but some of the historical guns could be given to museums. Police warn that after the amnesty, anyone found in possession of illegal firearms will face hefty penalties and even jail time.
You have 10 days and we will enforce possession of illegal firearms very robustly after this period. So this is a great opportunity. Bring those firearms into us.
The alcohol ban on bottle shops in Port and South Hedland has been lifted. It was put in place after a night of violence on Monday. 3 people injured in the violence are still being treated at the Hedland Health Campus. They're all in stable condition. International boy band Justice Crew are heading to Bunbury for a concert at the Breck tomorrow night, and on their way to the southwest they've stopped off in the Pilbara to work with local kids and get them up on stage with the guys.
This is no ordinary pop concert. International hip-hop act Justice Crew stopped by Port Hedland on Saturday for a one-off show. And while they were in town, the boys took some time out to work with some of the region's disadvantaged kids.
So the aim of the workshop was to engage youth and give them an opportunity in Hedland that they wouldn't otherwise get.
The 8-time ARIA-nominated boy band partnering with 2 local youth organisations.
I was targeted at 12 to 18-year-olds and we worked with Wirrika and Yik, who are a couple of local organisations here, to bring youth along to the sessions, so it was really successful.
The boys taught the kids some of their signature moves and then invited them to join the band on stage.
Let's go, let's go!
The event was so well received, organisers say the community can expect more like it.
I think this was the first of many events of this style, and I think it was a really great pilot tour, and we just really love to thank Justice Crew for all of their efforts and everything involved with it.
Simone Kerr, GWN7 News.
Shauna Willis joins us now with the weather and some promised rain overnight.
Yeah, thanks for that, Noel. A handful of moderate falls. It was, in fact, quite the mix of weather through the south today, with a weak, slow-moving front making its way over those southern districts. Now, behind that, we had onshore westerly winds and falls pretty much on and off. There's also a trough extending down through here, these central parts you can see of WA. Now, we continue to see some big temperatures north, 38 for Kununurra and also for Broome. A hot spot was at Roban, 41 degrees, and Karratha reached that top there of 37. Just a little cooler, 27 for Shark Bay today, while Geraldton reached 24. And along with those gusty winds for the Goldfields, 26 was the maximum we had today for Kalgoorlie. More southern districts, and at 19 for Bustleton, Margaret River 19, and for Albany, top of 20. Now 6 was the lowest it dropped at Jarrawood and Bridgetown overnight, and this afternoon 19 there for Esperance. A little more colour on the rain map tonight. Our highest report till 9 a.m. this morning came from the lower west. We've got that 17 millimetres you can see at Pickering Brook. A few mils even making it into the wheat belt, and some drizzle patches through today. Our weather wallers, a big thanks to Samuel and Shivani at Grace Christian, and hello Ethan, Caleb and Spencer at Collie High. Now wet and windy a couple of days ahead. More on that soon.
Thanks, Shauna. Coming up, all the colour from Ladies' Day at the Kalgoorlie races. Plus, if you want to run away to the circus, this is what you'll need to learn.
Stay in touch 24/7 with GWN7 News.
Looks like it'll be a wet, long weekend across much of the state, and today the Police Commissioner warned drivers to slow down and take care, saying there'll be extra patrols on all our major roads.
60 people have died on our regional roads this year, and this long weekend the police want to make sure that toll doesn't rise.
We've got school holidays and Royal Show coming up. It probably means that there's more people driving from country areas down to the city, and I'd ask all of them to slow down.
And if you're driving in the south of the state, be careful of the wet conditions.
South of the state, it's a very wet weekend ahead of us. There's up to 80 millimetres that have been forecast in and around Perth, and certainly down the southwest, so that'll need much closer attention by drivers.
Double demerit points will come into effect tomorrow at midnight until Monday, and there'll be extra police on our roads, including the Midwest.
We'll be targeting all the main thoroughfares throughout the district, including the Indian Ocean Drive, Brand Highway, Great Northern Highway, Midlands Road and the Northwest Coastal Highway.
Last month, 3 people died on this stretch of Indian Ocean Drive.
They need to be careful on any road. Any road is safe as long as you drive to the conditions for that road. Just because the speed limit's 110 doesn't necessarily mean that's what you should do.
Laura Birch, GWN7 News.
The Broome-based Circus School has once again proved just how good it is. Their annual show had the audience on the edge of their seats.
Broome's Sandfly Circus is a training school for children interested in circus life, and their annual shows are hugely popular. This year, 700 people turned up to watch. 60 kids aged from 6 to 19 impressed with circus skills they've learnt and practiced all year. Now in its 10th year, the circus teaches children skills which not only keep them fit, but will help them throughout their lives.
They also learn about courage and the capacity to struggle through things.
And the circus focuses on cooperation rather than competition. Like when they build a human pyramid. Big kids on the bottom and smaller, lighter kids at the top.
Kids learn to self-manage. Kids learn to, look out for each other and to look out for themselves.
Sandfly Circus graduates have gone on to attend the National Institute of Circus Arts at Swinburne University. And many are now performing with high-profile circuses around the world. And circus performers visiting Broome on holiday often call in and join in the lessons.
The kids are really happy with the circus. We've become such a big family. And everyone always keeps coming back.
Luke Shipway, GWN7 News.
Fashion and racing has taken over the Goldfields as Kalgoorlie's annual race round gets underway. Apart from the big money to be made on the races, the regional heat of the Fashions on the Field competition has $25,000 available in prizes.
Race round has started.
It's something different from any other kind of races there are. It's country races.
Today, thousands flocked to the Kalgoorlie Boulder Racing Club for the 2017 Ladies' Day Hannon's Handicap, and it was definitely all about the ladies. And fashion.
The Country Cup's Fashions on the Field is the biggest racing fashion competition in the state. The winner of today's heat will join her fellow Country Cups winners from all across regional WA in Perth in December to compete for a trip to Royal Ascot in London.
And this year, colour is the look. Fashions on the field is taken very seriously by these ladies. Today's winner, Natalie Ullman, put a lot of effort into her outfit and she took home $2,500 for her trouble.
It's months of planning. Yeah, every year months of planning, but this is the first time I've entered. I'm pretty excited.
And for those whose fashionable shoes proved just too much, comfy thongs were supplied free on the way out. But aside from the fashion, the racing continues. Harvey jockey Lucy Warwick took out the GWN7 handicap.
I rode him 2 years ago or the year before and he was in great form and he kind of lost it for a bit and it's great to see him back winning for David. He really deserves it.
Kate Ryan, GWN7 News.
And coming up, the pictures from the big race in Kalgoorlie this afternoon. Plus, a look ahead to this weekend's Southwest Football League Grand Final. And the $120,000 Hannans handicap was run just a short time ago. First place went to Disposition, ridden by William Pike. Roger the Roman, ridden by Peter Hall, came in second. And Harvey jockey Lucy Warwick, back in the winner's enclosure, rode in third on her horse Casino Bell. Southwest footy fans are looking forward to this weekend's grand final. The Bunbury Bulldogs made it through after an epic showdown at Hands Oval. They'll now face off against the HBL Lions.
It's been decided this weekend in Bunbury, it's the Bulldogs versus the Lions. In the fight for premiership glory in the southwest, the Bulldogs scraped through their semi-final in a nail-biting match against the Harvey Bulls. The Bulls, coming off a win against the Collie Eagles, were looking to extend their streak. But Bulldog Matthew Martin booted the home side into the lead early. The Bulls trailing at quarter time 13-4. Thomas Smith kicking the Bulls' first goal in the second. Formidable Brett Peake answered. Two more from the Bulls narrowed the lead until they finally inched ahead. But the Bulldogs had regained the upper hand to lead at half-time. With the grand final spot on the line, both sides defended furiously in the third.
We set this game up the way we want so we can come home over the top. But we still got to lift our work rate. We still got to work hard.
It was a nail-biting final term, the Bulls forging ahead. But the Bulldogs managed to turn it around, proving why they are now premiership contenders. The Bulldogs defending their lead hard in the dying minutes. Harvey have now fallen one game shy of the grand final for 3 years in a row. The Bulldogs now preparing to take on the HBL Lions.
We just need to be fresh, ready to go, because Harvey Brunswick obviously had a week off, so they're going to be sitting back just waiting for us.
Simone Kerr, GWN7 News.
Shorters back next with your all-important weather details, and then ahead in 7 News, exclusive, how a freak fall trying to rescue her cat has left a mother of 3 unable to walk. Now, Fuel Watch, keeping you informed on where to find the cheapest fuel prices where you live across WA. For a larger list of towns, check the Fuel Watch website online or phone 1300 304 054. Warnings have been issued for the southwest as they brace for wet and wild weather. Here's Shauno with the latest.
Yeah, thanks for that, Noel. We have 2 strong cold fronts moving in tomorrow and then again on Friday. Now, latest warnings are for the southwest, the south coast and into parts of the Great Southern. We're looking at areas pretty much southwest of the line from Bunbury through to Lake Grace and then down to Hopetoun. Damaging winds up to 100 kilometres an hour are likely to hit the southwest coast probably around 8 a.m, reaching Albany by 11 a.m and then Hopetoun about 2 p.m. And some areas will see rainfall up to and maybe more than 25 millimetres. Now, Friday morning, the second front rolls in and expect similar sort of damaging winds across a really broad section through here of southern WA. The big falls of rain should be more, though, to the southwest corner. And then into the weekend, look, still some gusty conditions about for Saturday, with showers near the west coast south of Coral Bay, and then pretty much right along that southern coastline you can see there. And then further into Sunday, we've got this low pressure system you can see sitting off. That is going to start approaching, though, that southwest corner, bringing some thunderstorms with it as well. And showers are forecast to reach south of a line from Exmouth right down to Ayr. So again, quite a patch of southern WA getting some wet and wild weather. It is, however, all sunshine north for you tomorrow. At Halls Creek 37, 34 for Broome. We had some fresh midday winds forecast for right through the Pilbara. Port Hedland 37, 35 for Karratha, and a nice sunny 32 for Exmouth. Now, the Gascoyne should be mostly sunny tomorrow, 25 degrees for Carnarvon, but we will have showers reaching up through much of the central west. It is 23 with some rather gusty winds forecast for Geraldton. And as the map suggests, severe weather to the south, heavy falls, possible damaging winds, 20 for both Bunbury and Albany. Now, there is a high chance of rain reaching up into parts of the wheat belt. Also some gusty winds pushing through. Merredin's looking at that 27. Showers are forecast for the southeast coast. Again, possible damaging winds, 28 for Esperance, and getting a little windy for Kalgoorlie, but a sunny 32. Waters off our north tomorrow. It is again looking fresh from around about here, Pilbara coast west and south, while strong wind and gale warnings have also been issued right down through here for western waters. Similar warnings are also in place for waters off our southern coastline. Now, partly cloudy, 26 for Brisbane tomorrow, and then for Perth it is showers increasing, 22. Take care in that wild weather south. Good night from me.
Thank you, Shauna. Well, before we go tonight, a quick thank you to everyone involved in this year's Accord West Coat-a-thon. Now in its fourth year, Coat-a-thon 2017 was the biggest yet, gathering nearly 7,000 donated coats, which were distributed to more than 2,000 families in need.
We will be working towards an even better Coat-a-thon 2018.
Here's to it. That's GWN7 News for tonight. Updates for you later tonight. You can watch or re-watch our bulletins again anytime you like on YouTube. And for news anytime, go to GWN7.com.au and follow us on social media. We'll leave you tonight with some beautiful pictures of Exmouth, which is celebrating its 50th birthday. Good night, Western Australia.